And we are back with Champions Live Sports and Entertainment Show. Just so nobody out there is confused how we went from the ballers to the ballers. I mean, y'all be balling too. I mean, but it's a different. But I didn't want people to, they maybe try to flip their YouTube and figure out what happened. It's still Champions Live Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. I'm your host, Bill Neal. We're coming to you live and in various colors from the Comfort Inn on Rhode Island and Penn Hills. We're here every other Thursday, and we just bring you, as you could tell by that first segment, all kind of craziness about sports, what's going on in the community, and that's what this segment's all about. I'm going to ask our guests to introduce themselves individually. For those few people out there that don't know who you are, please introduce yourself and your status with this program.
Okay, my name is Miss Anita Drummond.
Okay, that's enough. No, I'm sorry.
My name is Miss Anita Drummond. I'm the director of Pittsburgh Positive Young People Association. My son is Eddie Drummond, who played with the Detroit Lions, one game with the Steelers in Kansas City.
And that makes him a Steeler.
That's right.
A Steeler for life. Right. One game makes him a Steeler for life.
Right.
Fast Eddie Drummond was his name. Right. Playing football was his game. Yeah, Eddie's old now. He must be 40, ain't he? He's done. He's done. He's done. Oh, we forgot to say it's Warren Wilson's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Warren, you're 72 today?
Happy birthday.
72 years old.
He's the man that play basketball don't know about basketball.
That's right. It's a little bit true. All right, so Anita's here. Go ahead, bro. Introduce yourself. Hold that microphone right up under there. Go ahead.
My name is Corinne Story. I'm an activist. I'm also the coordinator for the Harambe for Wilkinsburg and Braddock. Also am the assistant to East Liberty, which is Anita Drummond's Harambe, and also Homestead Park. We have Harambe and Homestead Park. So I'm assistant to that too.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Keep that microphone close.
I am Sam Gibson, the one and only community guy, executive director of We the People of 412. I am for the first year giving the Black Soulful Festival in Homewood / like Harambe. We are bringing it live to you all this year. We have 3 days and we are looking forward to it. With all the extras, we'll get into it.
So you all have franchised Harambe.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
You I mean, that's a good thing. But
No, we have a franchise. What it is that the community, being that the community do not like to go outside of their environment, we bring Harambe to them. Now, the Harambe is also, we do medical, health, wellness. We provide entertainers, performers in the community so they can come out, and entrepreneurs.
So you raise a good point because communities can't just travel from one to another like they used to in our day.
That's right.
You have to be a little more careful. You have to be a little more aware. And sometimes it just doesn't work. So to your point, taking Harambe to the communities is the objective.
They like their environment.
So the Harambe has been here for 58 years. It originally started in Homewood.
Back in the
Yes,
day.
it was. And I remember the festival back in those days because I had to be about 8 or 9 years old, and our parents used to get us clothes because it was back to school day. And we would get clothes so we could go to the Harambe and go to Westinghouse picnic. And that's what we was looking forward to.
See, my mother, Catherine Story Ragland, she was one of the founders of the Black Arts Festivals in Homewood in the 1960s.
I can remember the great times on the corners of Homewood and Kelly Street.
And Frankstown. Don't forget
Yeah,
Frankstown.
but Homewood and Kelly Street was
Yeah.
popping.
We had
Stage performances and just food in the glory days of Homewood, where you can go east, west, north, and south, not a problem to be had. In those days, you didn't even have to lock your car door.
That's right.
It was just, and it was people from all over, black, white, rich, poor, young, and old, having a great time.
But we're trying to bring that back. So I want you to know we are definitely trying to bring that back.
In all the years that we have had at Harambe, we have never, ever had a problem.
And that's fantastic. So when you talk about I think you said you're the greatest Harambe director of all time. Is that what you said? Or something like that?
I'm proceeding.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bill.
I'm just saying what he said.
I know this is my 5th year, and I've been with Harambe for 26 years.
So he's the second
He's the
greatest.
baby. He's the baby.
He's in training.
He's the baby of the group.
He's the heir apparent.
That's right.
All right.
That is correct.
So what is your vision?
So I not only have a vision for the Harambe Homewood, we also do National Night Out as well in Homewood. So what made this jump off, Bill, is when the new administration, Mr. Ed Gainey, got into office, he had an idea and he had a vision to bring National Night Out really and true from the pandemic to the public and really opened it up. And it was a way and a day where the families of the particular neighborhoods can come out. So myself and another individual, we had came out, we had started putting it together. That's when I found out, oh, well, Harambe's coming back out. So we kind of connected on that level. So I have been doing National Night Out, myself and other partners throughout Homewood for about for the past 3 years. And then we connected with the seniors of this group now who are doing the Harambe's. And they just like, hey, we want to pass the baton on, but by passing the baton on, we want to make sure that the legacy of what Harambe has stand for and stood for with community, with the wellness. There's a lot of mental health going on. So it was imperative that we implemented it in there. It was imperative that we bring something for the children as well. So that was what they was telling me
All right,
about.
hold that thought. Hey, Ken, do me a favor. Get the people at the bar to stop talking so loud because it carries over here, and ask them to listen to this part of the show the way this part of the show was listening to them. Tell them I said that, Ken, or nobody gets paid.
So you know what, East Liberty, it's our 5th year anniversary. And it's been, all of us have organizations. So I'm with Pittsburgh Positive Young People Association, Teamwork, charitable
Wait,
organization.
how old are you? Are you 92?
Oh, I'm almost 92. I've been around in Pittsburgh for a very long time. I'm working in the community for 32 years.
And to your credit, and in all sincerity, your name is known citywide.
Thank you so much.
Your name, the Drummond family name, is highly recognizable, and you've been recognized countless times for all that you've done, as has Pearl, for all that you all have done, not only with Harambe, with
What
social
our
activism
organizations,
and community and civil rights and all those things that matter when some, I almost said many, when some from the Black community have left and not come back.
we're not going anywhere. I got hit by a car and I'm still here. You see what I'm saying? I'm still fighting for our community and fighting for our people. But I came here today so we can give you guys some dates.
Let's do that. Date, time,
Okay,
place.
some dates. So we're gonna let Pearl talk about what's going on with her first, me second. I'm sorry, me third, and Sam's next. So let's go order.
Okay, Wilkinsburg, Harambe will start June 28th through the 30th. And then there's gonna be Braddock, there's gonna be July the 19th through the 21st. If anybody, you have any housing issues or just judicial issues, come and see me at the festival so that we can work something out and help you. But we're gonna have organizations there for health, nutrition, wellness. We're gonna have performers there. We have artists there. We have, our youngest author last year was what, about 12 years
I'm
old?
12 years old.
So we're gonna have a lot of activities, games, and everything for, children. So come on out.
So now, is it safe to say that while this goes on in various communities, there are different dates?
Yes, there are.
So none of them are running simultaneously?
No.
Okay, so
Okay, Sam?
So I have quite a few things. So I just want to tell them, we the people of 412, we do quite a few things. Starting off May 25th, we're over at Baxter Park. We are over at Baxter Park in Homewood on May 25th. We are doing the first annual very own Community Day, Memorial Day cookout. Over in Baxter Park, we're going to be giving some health and wellness and some ideas on what is coming to the future of Homewood and how we are developing and what is the development that's happening in Homewood. That's May 25th at Baxter Park. We jump over into It's for the Black Soulful Wellness Festival that is happening on the dates of August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It is going to be an electrifying weekend. We have a lot of great things. I don't want to tell all the details. We got some coming, so please, if you can get on my on our website, which is wethepeople.org, wethepeople412.org, you will see everything that's coming up. Watch my lives because we go live every Thursday. Let's talk about it. The live. You will be getting more information as we get closer and closer. For all the festivals, we would talk about it. And then we usually close Homewood up with National Night Out this year. National Night Out, we have some national artists who will be coming and gracing our presence. We are looking forward to National Night Out. Happens on August 5th. It's going to be right in that corridor of Frankstown, between Frankstown, Collier, and Stair. So it's right next to, we're going to be right in that corridor of where the old Coliseum is. We're going to have everything from young to old. We have it for you. Just come on out. We have some things for you.
Let me ask a question. Maybe one of you all try this. Let's see what this microphone does. But I just want to, you just struck a nerve. Any idea of what's happening with the Coliseum? Is it ever coming back to life?
There's a lot of things that's getting ready to happen.
Any idea?
The person that can talk about that is
Just out of curiosity, since you
the
mentioned
man that's definitely talking.
So
Only what you know, not what you hear.
let me say this to you all. The truth of it is there's not been something written in stone yet. And I want to say this, the URA and the administration at the mayor's office is working diligently in trying to make something that is going to be sustainable, feasible, and recognizable to the community. And I know this because Ed Gainey, the mayor, has blood and sweat on this and put on his stamp of approval that he is going to bring something that's going to be longevity, and it's not going to be something that's going to cause problems, that's going to bring efficiency to the community. So I do give that administration applause for that.
Because,
The previous owner, he always wanted the Coliseum to stay right where it is.
John Moore.
Yeah.
And I was just about to add,
He
because
believed in African American and he believed in Western.
well, there's no doubt about that. And he believed in community.
Right.
And, I worked very closely with John for some time, and I had some vested interests in the Coliseum. A lot of people, I think Anita knows, but a lot of people don't know that Reverend Dwayne Darkins.
That's right, my baby.
But let me just offer this as a little bit of a self-serving note. Reverend Dwayne Darkins was the person that brought me into the fold, and I wrote the initial proposal that went to the city because they were about to bring that Coliseum down.
Wow.
So I take a little bit of credit because I wrote the initial paperwork that got expanded upon,
Thank you.
because John took that to a whole nother level after we did that. So it's good to remember his name and Tina Brewer for all that they did. And just on the down low, Ramses 2 was all that. I'm just saying.
It was.
You don't remember.
But I didn't work there.
Yeah,
I worked there.
but Ramses 2 was all that on Friday night. I'm just saying.
So I am going to tell you about the East Liberty Festival. And I'm also,
But this ain't your show.
no, I'm going to tell you about it because I'm next, okay?
All right.
And I'm going to tell you about the East Liberty show. But before I do that, I have to let you know that the Goomba Lowry and we had George Hogan. They are the ones that came up with the idea of the Harambe being, going from neighborhood to neighborhood. Then they brought it to us. George brought it to us. He was the chairperson for the Harambe Gajima. And you have to know this. The Harambe has not just been the Harambe. The festival has not just been Harambe. It started off as just a Black Arts Festival. Then it went to the Black Arts Festival Harambe. Then it went to the Black Arts Festival Harambe Gajima. So we have gone through so many different hands, and so many different organizations have helped with the festival. We're not the only ones that has worked with the festival. We might be the 10th group that has worked with the festival.
In year 2000, me and Anita did a Black Arts Festival in Homewood.
But keeping it alive all these years.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Without a miss.
No, there was one.
The COVID year.
Yes, no. The COVID year, me and Ms. Pearl, we just came on in and did what we had to do for Homewood, and we also did East Liberty because the COVID year I was in East Liberty and we were at the Home Depot parking lot.
So you rolled right through COVID.
Yeah, I just rode right on through it because I figured that God had me, you know. And I want to tell you that the festival in East Liberty is the 5th year anniversary.
Come
So
on,
we're
somebody.
real excited about the 5th year anniversary. It's
Yes.
August 9th, 10th, and 11th. I wore this outfit, which is purple, because we're having a parade on the 9th. And we're going to be honoring the color purple. And I don't know if you went to see the movie or not, but everybody that went to the color purple came to see the color purple in their purple.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's promote
So
it.
we're trying to get everybody there so they can come. We're trying to get everybody there so they can come and enjoy themselves. There's also going to be a festival on the 10th, and we're going to have Gospel Explosion.
Come on,
It's going to be wait.
Now, what about the parade?
The parade is going to be on the 9th. My son is going to be here. There's going to be other players, football players that's coming. We're going to have like lots of different people that's going to be in the parade. Last year we had a wonderful parade, but this year it's going to be phenomenal. The parade is going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
And to another point that I think Sam was making, this sense of totality. So for those who are listening to the show now, with Mayor Ed Gainey firmly entrenched in its existence and its progress, one can assume that there's a level of safety, there's a level of security, there's a level of creativity, all that it is necessary and required to make it a grand event and special for people to come from anywhere to be a part of.
We have all the mayors. We have the mayor of Braddock, we have the mayor of Homestead, we have the mayor of Pittsburgh, and we have the mayor of Wilkinsburg. They are all behind all the Harambe festivals, and they do participate and help.
Let me say
God
this
is
too.
good.
In the city of Pittsburgh, I can say this, that Mayor Ed Gainey's complete administration shows up and comes out, particularly for Homewood.
Yes.
They come and they support us. I mean, they bring the fire department, they bring the paramedics, they bring the task force, they bring the SWAT team. They show out. I'm very, very and truthfully thankful to be able to work with so many great people because I've learned a lot in the past 4 to 5 years that I've been working in, inclusive with National Night Out and Harambe. It has been an actual honor because I didn't know there was that many parts of safety that allows it to go off and how they make it work. So kudos to the administration now who have gone over and beyond to make that happen. And we're totally looking forward to this year and years to come with it.
And programmatically, since we're all programmers, people used to think when they showed up at the Connie Hawkins League that somebody just flipped the switch
Oh, no.
and all that just
Oh,
happened.
no. You have to
People
think
have to
about
real, there's a beginning process, there's a middle process, and there's an ending process that goes into all the planning. So that when people show up and the lights are on, they think somebody just flipped the switch. You all put 6 months into getting ready for that moment.
You
So
have to raise money.
and raising money. So let's give our viewers phone number, email address, how to get in touch with each one of you to move forward in sponsoring, promoting, and participating.
Please do not forget about the festival that's going to be in Homestead. That's going to be August the 23rd through the 25th. We can't forget about that one either. Miss Mary Ellen Hayden
And
Decker.
Homestead Park is called Frick Park.
Yes, right. So we're going to do it in order so that it can be done correctly. So Pearl, you talk about your dates, your time, and then your next, and then I'm last.
Well, June the 28th is going to start off at 11 a.m. and we're going to end on June the 30th at 9 p.m. Now, during that time, every night is going to be closed at 9. It's going to be presented by TeamWorks. And if you have a team that needs employment because they get a summer job or whatever, then send them on down and we might can work them out throughout all the festivals. My telephone number is 412-628-9011. If you want to be a vendor, we have a lot of room for vendors. Give me a call and I'll give you the information about that also.
And give that phone number one more time, a little slower.
412-628-9011.
Okay, so that's the first one.
And the Homewood 2024 Soulful Black Arts Festival is going to be given by none other but then We the People of 412. You can reach us at 412-627-7025, or you can go on our Facebook page, our YouTube, our Twitter. We're on 25 forms of social media. Please hit us up. We are looking for, if you are into arts, if you are into providing services and resources for the community. We work directly with people who have been victimized. We want to bring them services right to the city, right to the street, right to Homewood, right to the front door. So please feel free to contact us, myself and Ukabozi 412. We are hitting this thing up and we are looking forward to working with you all. Once again, you can reach us at 412-627-7025. That's We the People of 412 and Ukabozi 412. We are working together to bring you an electrifying weekend that weekend.
And then so also, so that each one of you know, we can bring the Corvette Club to each of your events separately.
The Corvette Club was at ours last year. It was phenomenal.
So we'll make sure that I'll make sure that I line them up on your individual dates so that they can all, so that the Corvette clubs can be individually recognized in each one of your events.
Okay,
So wrapping it up.
East Liberty, that's gonna be August, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. And my telephone number is 412-654-6115. And for my email, it is my name, Anita Drummond, 18, my son's number, @gmail.com. And we're just excited. Everybody's excited. We're all excited.
I'm excited now.
I'm
Because we're all working together. So can I end with saying this?
Well, you can end in 1 second. I just want to clarify one thing. You can do whatever you want, but I want to clarify. I'm a member of the Elite Corvette Club,
Right.
Because there's two different clubs.
That's right.
Both clubs, I'm sure, are available to you, but I represent the
thank
Elite
you.
Corvette Club.
All right, thank you.
We're gonna have a parade on June the 29th, and it starts at 12. So we'd be glad to have the Corvette Club.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to end this with what the Harambe has always done, and I'm sure that they'll follow up. Harambe!
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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for lighting the joint up. That's all right. All right.
A nice hand for the Harambe folks. And look, we're coming right back to wrap up the show with what's on deck. And I just want to give these folks a big hand for coming out and being a part of Champions Live Sports Talk. We'll be right back in a moment. Viewers, you'll be silent, but we'll be visible.
All right, you all. Girl, I hope you guys got that. I'm so sorry that I was not able to introduce myself a little more than what I usually do. But hey, today was the day we wanted to come down and make sure that you guys had the information on what Harambe was and what we're doing this year. I'm looking for you all coming out. I'm looking
Test one, test two.
Everybody good?
All right, gentlemen, we're live right now.
Test.
He said he was live. He said you're live. I want to do my thing.
Hey, listen, we're back.
He broke the camera.
Oh, he didn't break that camera.
We're back. Champions Live.
Take your right shot.
Can never talk when the host is talking. That's the first rule of the show. All right. We're back with Champions Live Sports Talk Show, coming to you live in various colors from the Comfort Inn on Rhode Island Road in Pitt Hills every other Thursday. But here's my number, 412-628-4856. Call if you want to be on the show. Call if you want to advertise. Dana's here. Dana handles all the money for the operation. If you want to advertise on the show, if you want to sponsor a segment, you were introduced to Extra Points, which kicked off the segment. You just seen our one-on-one segment, but it was me one-on-three. But, you know, I got skills like that. I can go one-on-three, depending on who the three are. And then thirdly, and let me just clarify something, Sean, while you're here, because every now and then Rock gives me that look. He gives me that city league look. I went to Penn Hills, played at Penn Hills. We didn't care nothing about the city league.
Mm-hmm.
I understand then or now. So anybody gets up, let me clear that up. No, we love you now. I don't want people looking for you now. We didn't care about you then. We love you now. Because Westinghouse is all that now. So to be clear. But look, before we wrap up this what's on deck segment, which is each of us talking about what you want to say to the public of what's next or what is or what isn't. I got to put the trivia question out there today. And I'm going to guarantee you, matter of fact, Rock, I'll bet you that $5 you stole off me that you don't know the answer to this trivia question. Nobody Googles, nobody cheats. But the trivia question is, all this talk about the greatest NCAA scorers of all time. And of course, you heard me rant and rave about CC, well, Caitlin Clark, CC to me. You heard me, just back everybody up a little bit because Maravich was the truth. And
There's no 3 points in his time.
and he didn't play as a freshman. So but here's the trivia question to win the Jim O'Brien authored Looking Up at Basketball. This is the encyclopedia of college and pro basketball, trust me. And it has the local flavor of the great Connie Hawkins and Kenny Durrett in here. But the trivia question today, boys, all the conversation about the greatest scorers in the history of NCAA basketball. Who is the greatest rebounder in the history of NCAA basketball? And there's a local connection. There's a reason I asked that question, aside from the obvious, because if you don't rebound the ball, you can't score the ball. A great coach used to say that. That would be John Wooden. If you don't rebound the ball, you can't score the ball. But who is the all-time rebounding leader in the history of NCAA basketball? I'll let you ponder that. If anybody thinks they know, then let me know, and you can walk away with the official Jim O'Brien what's going on basketball book. But Sean, while they don't know, they're going to pretend like they know, but they don't know. But let me start with you. Talk a little bit about your grandfather, but not from the public side of it, from the grandson side. Talk about the great Connie Hawkins.
Oh man, it's definitely one of those things that where he's an icon and you don't realize it. You think he's just your grandfather at first. You just know he's just this guy that where he's a man of few words, and when you know once he sits you down or once he says something to you, you really listen really what he has to say, because once he says something, you know he's about to say
Real
something
true.
very important.
That's real true.
So you know what I mean, and then especially so one of those things for me, it's always been like looking up to him as being just my grandfather. He would give me advice, sound things. He was more of a rock to me, more of those things of where if things in my life were going astray, grades, figuring out things in school, figuring out things, whatnot, that would come throughout sports. I would take them to him, and he would be pretty much the guy that would pretty much guide me and be that pretty much that.
In your life, did you have the weight of Connie Hawkins on your shoulders. I've oftentimes said to people, if you take a photo from Sean and Connie from the waist down, they're identical.
Yeah.
You have your grandfather's legs, to be
Yeah.
sure. But so was there a weight on your shoulders to be Connie Hawkins your whole life?
It definitely was. Initially, wasn't because I didn't notice who he was, and then at the end, once I got into basketball and started getting into the life, it was like, oh wow, my grandfather's an icon. He's a global icon when it comes to basketball, and he's really a guy that's larger than life. Especially when I got to go see him around Dr. J and some guys, and they receive him, and they come up to him and say, hey, they acknowledge him first. He'll sit down, and those guys make their way to him. And I've seen it to where even when we go into a casino and I've seen the room stop, and just everyone in there is in awe. They'll come up to him. He takes his time out, speak to everyone, and you'll know the guy at the concession stand. He'll know the guy that works at the hot dog stand, the concession stand's name, and he'll make him feel like he was a bigger guy than him when he left.
Soft-spoken guy, even-tempered.
Yes, calm all the time.
All the time.
Never seen anything. Never seen Mike. Never seen losing school. Like even when if you think about it, think about a guy that where just an accusation was enough to change what he was destined to do, what he was loved to do, and it changed and it took away his opportunity from doing it, and he never once got mad. This is a guy that never once badmouthed anybody, never once came out of his character of where you see him pointing the finger, blaming anybody. Just took it on the chin and moved forward. And as you see, and persevered. Like, at the end of the day, it was a perseverance story. He ended up, making it, like, the biggest thing he would always tell me was, he made it to, when he did get his opportunity to play in the NBA, 69, gets the chance to play for the Phoenix Suns. And when he gets the chance to play for the Suns, he takes them, to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, in which back in those times, people talk about Big Three now, but if you look at that roster, they had Will Chamberlain,
Jerry West,
and Elgin Baylor, which those three, if that's not a big three, I don't know what you call them when you got the logo,
And to your point, well, first of all, let me publicly say, probably for the 9,000th time, Connie Hawkins is directly responsible for my professional career as it has occurred. Had it not been for him lending us his name to establish the Connie Hawkins League, I doubt if I would have achieved all the other things I did. To your point also, I had the privilege of going to the old Cleveland Richfield Stadium when they used to play out in the boonies, the Cavaliers. Connie Hawkins, Kenny Durrett, and myself rode up for the All-Star game. It probably was the last year that they had anything at the old Coliseum. And literally, now, for as much as I run my mouth and am out in public, when I'm around those guys, I take a step back, like real back.
Mm-hmm.
We were at courtside, and virtually every major star on that floor came up to Connie. He didn't have to take a step. Chamberlain, Jerry West, help me with the big brother from the Pistons back in the day. Bob Lanier.
Yep.
Him and Bob Lanier hugged like they were brothers for like 5 minutes, it seemed like. Enormous respect for the great Connie Hawkins. So always glad to have you here. Wrap it up by telling us about the experience you had when you went down to Phoenix just recently and what they did.
Oh man, it was surreal. It was a monumental opportunity, an honor to be able to step into my grandfather's shoes and to see not only how Pittsburgh receives him and New York receives him, but I got a chance to see how Phoenix receives him. And people don't know that he's the first franchise star. Like he was when they were the franchise team coming into the NBA, the Suns, their first year, he takes the Lakers 7 games by himself. It was him. He was the only NBA All-Star on that team and he takes them 7 games by himself. Now he always said that was the highlight of his career because he got an opportunity to show that he was supposed to be there.
That's his evidence.
Right there, literally, and it shows.
That's
evidence right
pre
there.
Dr.
Look,
J going
right
underneath
there.
Kareem.
And that's soaring, and that show that's him. That's him right there. Like
Driving
anybody
from
want
one
to know.
side of the lane to the other.
Over the monumental giant. Look,
Yeah.
he's there, and it looked like, oh man, how is this gonna happen? It doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I know it looks like
how does this
how is this end? You know what I
I'll
mean?
tell you what it looks like. It looks like, when Dr. J went over what's his name? Michael Cooper.
Yeah. Yep. It was the same exact move. Same exact pose, same exact move. You're
Well,
actually
no. That's Dr. J
Oh, correct.
soaring in the air.
Oh, correct.
Dunk on Michael Cooper. This is reminiscent of Dr. J sweeping under the hoop under Kareem.
Dr. J did that too.
Same concept, or almost same
Well,
concept.
correct.
Not the same concept. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, it's different.
Not the concept.
What I was trying to
Yeah, the
refer
swoop.
to, though.
It's a swoop.
Yeah, it's the
I think
I'm
reverse.
trying to
You're
help
gonna
you
reverse it through.
He made that
Swoop, you're gonna reverse it through.
Yeah,
You're gonna make it
exactly.
look
Make it
like-
over. Yeah, he
And
made
also-
that famous though.
So
Yeah.
listen,
And the Jordan thing. Jordan did that against the Lakers.
now that's a quote.
Mhm.
That being said, thanks for being here. I know we took you out of you were doing ribs or something. Go out here. But look, Mario, we were remiss in not talking about, it looked like your Pirates, and I need you and Rob to comment on this. It looks like your Pirates are coming out of spring training and they're the best team in spring training and they got off to a 9-0 start and we're gonna win the division and win the pennant and go to the World Series. All of that has changed considerably in the last 2 weeks since we were here.
It has changed, but to me, it actually changed for the better because the focus is now on not only Paul Skeens when he gets here, but Jared Jones is
He's a
doing
beast.
a list of things that only a few players in the game has ever done. And if Paul Skeens can do half of what he's doing, then the excitement is for them to have 1-2, and then Keller will have pressure taken off of him. He could be a 3, and to have those 3 going in, as we all know, in the playoffs, you never need more than 3 pitchers.
Jones,
Get to the playoffs.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Get to the playoffs. They haven't been there.
they're at 50% right now, 13-13, right?
Friendly reminder.
Jones reminds me of Gibson, Bob Gibson. He's got that attitude. He's got that nasty. When he strikes you out, he looks at you like I dare you to hit my ball. I mean, I think he's the real deal. And let me ask you a question, Ron. If the objective in today's baseball is to save the arms of these young pitchers, why are you wasting Skeens' arms in the minor league? Why are you wasting those pitches in the minor league if he's ready? And clearly he is. I think he gave up his first run in spring training yesterday.
Yeah.
His first run in 9 games. Why waste those precious throws in the minors when he can be doing it here?
It's called developmental.
Mhm.
You have to develop. It's different levels. Minor league, major league. Just because he's doing it in the minor leagues, I agree with you.
Mhm.
Let's bring him up, give him a shot, and see what he can do. He is a pitcher. I would have had him up there at spring training, right after spring training, giving him a look, because you can always send him back. That's what I was doing.
That's all true, but what's really the game of baseball, I made a note here, is metrics and analytics. For instance, when Jared Jones was pitching last week, he threw 59 pitches, 50 of them were strikes, which is like unbelievable. And they took him out because they had an inning count, not a pitch count. And 50 of those pitches were he didn't suffer, he had control. So he wasn't getting out of jams, and they pulled him out because his metrics and analytics is driving me up a wall.
So I take it.
And Satchel Paige is rolling over in his grave.
Good example. Good example.
He threw a double hitter.
Yeah, Well,
And now
look
you
at
got a guy
Nolan,
throwing 59.
look at Nolan Ryan, was throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, and he did it to the age of what, 45 years old?
Remind me to tell you guys about my Satchel Paige story when I had an opportunity to take a picture with him, and I told the photographer, no, because I don't want to bother Mr. Page. That's my second dumbest opportunity, because I also did the same thing with Jesse Owens. Back in the early days, a photographer came up and said, you want a picture with that? I said, no, don't bother Mr. Owens. Please, something's wrong with me. But to
The third thing was that bet last.
and so I'm glad you brought that in. So Tiger did not show up at the Masters as I had predicted.
One of his worst scores ever.
But let me ask you this question, Ron. Will the Tiger ever bite again? Is he done? Are we to throw dirt on the
great Tiger?
well, I was about to say greatest or second greatest golfer of all time.
As far as the current PGA, I always say he's going to win one more to break that record. Whatever he has to do to get there, he's going to do it. I got that much faith in him. I didn't have the faith in the Masters because he hadn't been playing. And as you know, I picked Scottie Scheffler. And what did he do?
He wins.
Win. I told you that Tiger would make the cut and then he would blow up because he just didn't have the stamina.
But we have to admire the effort, the attitude, the willingness to compete.
Yeah.
And with that, given time, probably no one knows Tiger better than Tiger. Given time, your prediction is he will win another major. Do you think Jack Nicklaus is okay with wanting that?
Yes.
Is he okay with wanting Tiger to?
I heard they don't get along though.
It's a little resistance there.
That's I mean, that's the dude that Scott was saying, like he used to criticize him. It was either him or Tom Watson because he didn't like the way he acted on the course at that one time when he got in trouble when he you know he is.
Tiger gave money to Jack's foundation, or that major thing that Jack does with the kids and stuff. I mean,
I've never heard that.
I've never heard.
Well,
of
let's
it.
go to.
Bro, here we go for what?
Didn't we go through 2 weeks ago?
Actually,
Didn't we go through 2 weeks ago that there's only one goat?
yeah.
We were talking about goats and all that.
Mhm.
So anyway, Arnie and Jack got together and really helped Tiger because they knew he was up and coming and supported him. That has not changed.
Yeah.
I'm on record.
Yeah.
Okay,
That has
I
not
believe
changed.
you. Okay, that's what
So
I
whenever scuttlebutt you're here,
mean.
it's just noise in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was definitely Tom Watson. I think it was Tom Watson that was criticizing him about that. Definitely.
Well, that would be because nobody likes Tom Watson. That might have been where that came from.
When I was shooting for Golf Magazine, I mean, that was the thing about that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Scottie Scheffler is gonna be the next, I think he could be the next Jack Nicklaus.
I disagree. I disagree. All that foot movement when he hits the ball,
Yeah.
I give him about 3 more years.
Remember who used to have that also? One of the greatest golfers in the world had that.
Please elaborate on that.
Chico always had the
About
moves
the
with his feet all the time.
foot movement. Please elaborate for people who don't.
Play or no golf,
Yeah, like people like me.
like you.
Yes.
I mean, for the rest of us.
Well, that too, but mainly me.
Okay, when you hitting a golf ball, you gotta have stability in your feet. You twist around a platform with an angle of your spine. And so to hit the ball consistently, that arc made by your arm when you address the ball must remain until you contact the ball and follow through. So if you move your feet, then you're changing that arc slightly. As Scotty gets old,
You don't think he can fix it?
So,
You don't think he can fix it?
and I.E.,
because he's been too successful doing what he did.
and I.E., to your point, like while I'm working out teaching the kids physical education right now, you're working on those things, the fundamentals, being core, how to, like, the strongest point is getting your square, getting your base, and getting your feet square. And no matter what sport you're playing, basketball, soccer, I don't care what sport it is, football, boxing, like everything is all evaluated on how strong you can get your base.
Yep.
I don't care what it is. So I don't care what it is, what sport, what you're doing, what ball you're involved in. So even when I'm teaching my kids right now, as over at Manchester Charter, the elementary school, I'm teaching them right now how to keep a strong base, strong core, how to be, get your feet, shoulder width apart. You know what I mean?
We got 4 minutes to wrap this up.
Hey, you can come work with me with some of the people I'm teaching golf.
Well, speaking of my daughter, they just made history, and she's right now she's going to be she's going to get an honor right now for the NFL draft. She met Rich Porter, Paul. She met Paul. What was it? Paul. What's the dude that LeBron's Rich Paul. Yep, Rich Paul. Yep, met him. She's doing big things. They broke history. They were the first time that a city league team made it to the States this year. Yep, up there in Michigan. So my daughter's part of she plays golf.
That is all good. We got 3 minutes to wrap things up, and we want to thank Sean Hawkins for being here once again. I do want to give everybody a chance to final out, but I do also want to let our viewing audience know, coming up Friday, May 31st, you will have a chance to meet the great Sean Hawkins in person at the 50th annual Connie Hawkins Hall of Fame inductions at PNC Park, Friday, May 31st, 6 o'clock. For ticket information, give me a call, 412-628-4856. Daniel will be there. VP Warren Wilson will be there. Sean Hawkins will be there, along with the great BB Flannery, to hand out the Hall of Fame awards to the next group of great Connie Hawkins Summer Basketball League Hall of Famers. I also want to send a shout out to Shauna, Sean's mom, who was Connie's daughter, who I've known since her young life. So that whole tradition lives on. Anybody else got anything else that you want to add in the 2 minutes that are left?
We are going to have a website for Achievement Gift. We're going to finally get that done. Dana's going to collaborate. I'm going to get her number after the show. Right after the show, we'll collaborate. We're going to get a real website in here. We're going to have the shows. We're going to have everything. Pictures and everything.
Point well taken. Pull that mic back. I think it's cracking on you.
I'd like to see the Knicks go further. I've waited a long time.
Well, I tell you what, they're better than they were the last 20 years. So,
but you realize back they lost to Chicago. They played hard against Chicago. They lost Game 7 to Chicago with Mason and Patrick.
They didn't lose to Chicago. They lost to Michael Jordan.
Well, back then, if Michael got touched, even touched, the foul was called. That's why he put 20 points up all the time.
We're not going to debate the greatness of Michael Jordan. That's a whole other show. Anybody else? Anything else to add?
Yeah, man. Live every day like it's your birthday, man. It's my
Well, it's happy birthday, Warren.
That's right. He's 72, folks. He looks great.
What's over 72? Matter of fact, bartender, a ginger ale on that. Well, the answer to the question that none of you answered.
I think he was mentioned.
Who is the all-time greatest rebounder of all time? Do you have a name? Do you have a name? Ken? No. Next. Anybody?
He said there's a connection to Pittsburgh.
Well, there's a Pittsburgh connection. Tom Gola is the all-time leading rebounder in the history of NCAA basketball. Tom Gola played where? Anybody?
Don't know.
LaSalle University. And who else from Pittsburgh played at LaSalle?
Kenny Durant.
Kenny Durant is actually the second greatest player in LaSalle history, not the first. Many people think he's the greatest LaSalle player. This guy, Tom Gola, from 52 to 55, was the early Larry Bird combo, little bit of Bill Russell. And speaking of which, Bill Russell is 14th on that rebounding list. That's how far back he is from Golan. And not only did he score 2,000, not only did he score some unknown name that I couldn't retain, not only did Golan have 2,201 rebounds, he amassed over 2,900 points at the center.
All right, once again, Bill Mills schooling the young fellas because that's why it's my show, not theirs. They don't know the stuff I
We
know.
gotta announce our sponsors.
So go ahead and announce them then. What's
Real
going on?
quick, thanks again to Murphy's Music Center, Lynchburg, PA, for their sound equipment helping to bring music in the Pittsburgh area since 1953. AK Music since 1985. Thanks Vince Raffina and Highland Tires that got me here in good old Natrona Heights. Thanks, Alan and gang.
There you go. All right, and look, it was a great show today. We appreciate everybody tuning in. All you viewers out there in Achieving Greatness Land, Willie Scargill MVP Awards, Connie Hawkins Hall of Fame inductions, Friday, May 31st. Getting ready for safe summer programs for our kids. If you want to know anything about golf, call Rock. I don't know a damn thing about it. And the Pittsburgh City League Hall of Fame coming up in December. It's coming your way once again. All right, we'll see you. And remember, champions aren't born, they're made.
All right, we got to do another one.